OTT platforms are somewhat still relatively new to India. So basically, we've seen that how this is one industry which is really flourishing and growing and become increasingly popular, especially in the post-COVID times. Remember when there was lockdown and cinema halls were all shut down, people used to watch movies or content through the OTT platforms. And therefore, there's never been a rule in place or any kind of a censorship board for them, unlike, say, a movie hall or a movie or cinema for that matter. Now, when the INB minister, he has been getting representatives over the last couple of months also from many people who feel that many of this content on OTT is not in sync with the sensitivity of India. For example, at times there have been complaints about excessive usage of abusive words, cuss words, sexual content. And the problem with the OTT platforms is that it gets beamed live into your living rooms. The argument which is given to him was, it goes straight into your bedrooms. It's available on your cell phone, which means you cannot actually censor the people who are watching it. So there could be people with an impressionable mind. It can actually provoke or stoke passions. And therefore, this is something which is not in sync with many of the sensitivities of Indian culture and ethos. Sometimes there have been complaints, as we have heard, about many of the series which they felt was either abusive or they were, running down Hinduism, and there have been contents about that or gods and so on and so forth. So what the INB minister has said is very important. Two things. One, sources have made it very clear to us that there is no question of any kind of censorship. We are not going to clamp down on them. We know they're extremely popular and they are the need of the hour and times and with the times, and therefore no question of clamping down. We're not going to discourage this kind of a cinema being promoted or episodes being promoted on OTT, because it also gives employment to a lot of people who were hurt during the COVID times. That's one. But it also means that there has to be a kind of self-censorship, some kind of a guideline you need to frame, you need to follow, and therefore ensure that people's sentiments or emotions and sensitivities are not hurt. Well, we'll have to see, because these kind of complaints and interactions have taken place. But I think there's a sense of seriousness now went in from the INB minister and the ministry to representatives of the OTT platforms.